Karibu Ibrah Network Lab. Hii ni kozi kamili ya Cisco Certified Network Associate. Kupitia kozi hii utajifunza jinsi gani na namna network inavyofanya kazi. Okay, in this video we are going to configure a DHCP. So we have two routers, router 1 and router 2. So here is our instruction. We are supposed to configure 3 DHCP poles on R1. So the first pole is 10 pole, 20 pole, and 12 pole. All these poles we are going to configure them on R1. Then the R2, it is going to act as the DHCP client, but also at the same time it is going to act as the DHCP relay agent. Now without wasting time, let's get started on R1. So I will open the command line interface, R1, the CLI, then enable, conft. Then the instruction says configure 3 DHCP poles on R1. Now the first pole is 100 pole. But before we get started here, we're supposed to exclude this address of this network. So IP DHCP excluded address. So it is going to be 10.0.0.1 until 10.0.0.10. Then we're supposed to create a pool of the address from this network ambayo ni 10.0.0.0/24 network. So IP DHCP, then pool followed by pool name. The pool name tumwambie tuweke hapa ni 10 pool. So it is 10 then pool. Press enter. Then after I create a pool name of this, now I'm going to create the network that is going to contain from this pool. So the network is going to be 10, it is going to be 10.0.0.0, which is a /24 network, so which is 255.255.255.0. Then I'm going to assign the default gateway. So the default router, it is going to be 10.0.0.1. Then the DNS server according to our instruction. But however, from this network topology, there is no any DNS server. But hopefully this instruction just wanted us to get familiar on how to configure the DNS server to our DHCP server. So the DNS server, it is address, it is 10.0.0.0.1, and we are finished with the first pole. So then let's move to the next pole. So the next pole is IP DHCP pole. It is 20 pole, so 20 pole. So the network is 20.0.0.0.0. It is /24 network, so it is 255.255.255.255.0. Then the default gateway of this network is 20.0. It is 20.0.0.0.1, and also the DNS server. This network is 20.0.0.1. Then finally, we are supposed to exclude address from this network. So to exclude address from this network, is supposed to be in the global configuration mode. So exit. Then here IP DHCP excluded address. So starting from 20.0.0.1 until 20.0.0.0.10. Then we press enter. Now the finally pool, we're supposed to create this pool which is 12 pools. So IP DHCP pool, then followed by pool name which is 12 pool, and press enter. After then the network there, it is 192.168.12.0. its subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. it is a /24 network. Then I'm finished to create these pools of address to my router 1. So this router 1 now is going to act as the DHCP server. It is contain the pool of address. So the first pool of address, which is network of 10.0.0/24, it is going to be assigned to this host here. And the next pool, which is 20.20.20, it is going to be assigned to this host here over this network, which is connected to router 2. Then finally, the last pool of address, which is 192.168.12.0/24 network, it is going to be used between these two routers. Now, the second instruction is we're supposed to configure the R2 interface gigabit 00 as a DHCP client. So we are going to router 2 and CLI, then enable conft. Now I'm going to enter to the interface gigabit Ethernet, so interface G0/0. Then I'm going to configure it as the DHCP client. So instead of me and go assign IP address manually for this interface, I'm going just to enable this interface to be as the DHCP client. Then it is going to receive IP address automatically from this DHCP server. So the command is very simple. So just write IP address, then followed by DHCP, then press enter, and that's all. But we're supposed to enable this interface to be up because it is down. So the command is no shutdown. And indeed, as you can see here, we've got the syslog message that this interface was assigned a DHCP address, which is 192.168.12.2. The subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, which is /24. Okay, now we are supposed to make sure that this host PC from network 10.0.0.0/24, they receive IP address automatically from the DHCP server. Since we have already created the pool of address here, as you remember, the pool of address which is going to be assigned from this device. Let us go to this desktop number 1, then desktop, MD. Let me view the IP address. So IP config, it has only this link local IP address, which is APIPA, but it is supposed to have address which is within this network 10.0.0.0/24. So I'm going to refresh. So it is IP config/release, then IP config/renew. And indeed, it has got the IP address automatically from the DHCP server, which is 10.0.0.11. The subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. The default gateway it is 10.0.0.1. The DNS server is 10.0.0.1. Let's do. Also, we are doing the same thing to this next desktop. So IP config/release, then IP config/renew. And indeed, it has already received the IP address, which is 10.0.0.12. The subnet mask is 255.255.0. The default gateway is 10.0.0.1. The DNS server is 10.0.0.1. Now we're done with this host and this network. Now, the final thing we are supposed, the last step is you're supposed to configure R2 interface gigabit 0/1 as the DHCP relay agent. So we are going to configure this interface gigabit Ethernet 0/1 in router 2, so as a DHCP relay agent. So as this host over this interface was connected direct to this R2, they're supposed to receive IP address from the DHCP server, which is R1. Now, once we remember, we have already created the pool of the address of this network, which is 20.0.0.0.0/24 network. So we're supposed to assign, or we're supposed to register this interface gigabit Ethernet 0/1 as a DHCP relay agent. So very simple, enable conft, then interface, it is interface gigabit Ethernet 0/1. Then the command is IP helper address. Then you're supposed to enter the DHCP server address, which is 192.168.12.1. This is address of R1, which is a DHCP server. Then we're finished. We're supposed to come to our host here and do the same thing. So ipconfig slash release, ipconfig slash release, then ipconfig slash renew. Supposed to receive IP address. Why they don't receive IP address? This interface with it up. Let us say enable show IP interface brief. So IP interface brief. Yes, it is up and everything is okay. Do this interface have IP address? So do show IP interface brief. Also it has the IP address. So now this PC, they're supposed to receive IP address automatically from the DHCP server. So ipconfig slash release, then you're supposed to renew. And indeed it has already received IP address from the DHCP server. And also let us do the same thing to this PC. And also it is supposed indeed it has received IP address from the DHCP server. That's all about for this lab. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel, comment, share this video.